Talk and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Get rid of this music, okay? This music has got to go. Can't we, are we moving backward or forward?
610 WIOD.
Kill it. Butcher it. Slice it up. That's it.
I killed Nicole.
All right, that too. Anyway, it's 11:58 at WIOD. Happy Tuesday to us. I see Adam's in here, not quite so early as yesterday. You don't have to start coming in here like Andy, like little Andy was doing, like real early in the morning, sucking around and being a quisling. Look what it did for him. He's up in New York now. Got him a good job. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello. Wait a minute. Wrong line. Hello. Mobile in Miami.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes, I am.
I was listening to you a little earlier when you were talking about the Miami Herald dictating who to vote for.
Yes, I was.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't realize it, but Art Thiel is a decorated Vietnam veteran.
So what has that got to do with the price of rice?
Well, I just think that if it wasn't for the veterans, the United States would not be what it is today.
Yeah, so does that mean that he ought to be the mayor of Dade County because he was in Vietnam?
No, I'm not saying that.
Can we make everybody who's a decorated veteran the mayor of Miami? It's going to get pretty crowded in that orifice.
Well, no, I'm not saying that either, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you're saying go out and vote for Pinellas.
That's absolutely correct.
He's portraying himself as a Cuban American. He is not a Cuban American.
What difference does it make? What difference does his ethnic background have to do with it?
Has none to do with it.
So then, what are you bringing it up for?
Because he brings it up.
Yeah.
And I just,
and of course, it's unusual in this community for anybody to inject their ethnicity into an election, isn't it? That's very unusual.
No, it's not unusual.
Yeah. So what are you bringing it up for? How does that make him less or better qualified?
It doesn't make him less or better qualified. I'm just saying he is perceiving himself.
I don't care what he perceives himself. I perceive him as a more independent, a more hopeful candidate to be the mayor of this county, as opposed to somebody who's just another in a long list of pawns like Joe Carollo, who's going to be a puppet for the Herald and special interest in Dade County. That's the point. Not whether somebody was in Vietnam or any other bogus point you got.
Well, what about him accepting all this money, supposedly, that they say he accepted from the...
And what about Art Thiel not filing income tax returns or paying taxes the last 2 years, supposedly? What about that?
I'm sure that if it was a real major issue, the federal government would be after it.
If it was a major issue, I guess it's just a minor issue, if that's true, huh? It's only a minor issue.
The federal government that is not.
Sir, I'm going to tell you something. I could sit here until midnight and just challenge you with fact and with logic. It wouldn't move you off the dime for a second. If you like Art Thiel, more power to you. Go out there and vote for him 30 or 40 times.
Thank you for taking the time.
Okay, thank you so much for wasting mine. We have an open line at Dade, 751 WIOD. We got all of Broward back in that noontime coma again. Boy, I can see we really made some great inroads these last 2 days. 524. Now, see, yesterday we had a false alarm the first 2 hours. All that was about was the Ron and Ron thing. That's all that was about. It had nothing to do with the fact that the audience is, alive, because in 2 days we're not going to, rekindle an audience. It ain't going to happen. So we had a false alarm here, and now it's like, oh, my God, can this really be true? 5249463 in Broward and 2 on the green lines, 1-800-944-WIOD. He's a decorated veteran. How about that Admiral, what was his name? The one that ran with Perot. What the hell was Stockdale? There's another decorated veteran, okay, who doesn't know what planet he's on. Who am I? What day is it? What day of the week is it, okay? There's a good reason that everybody rushed right out to vote for him, because he was a decorated veteran. Let's get Colin Powell to change his mind. There you go, another decorated veteran. And again, last time I checked, Bill Clinton, who evaded the war in Vietnam, who was allegedly a draft dodger, last time I checked this morning on the CNN, he's 22 points ahead of Dole in the polls. How do you like that?
Oh!
I like it a lot. Here's Miami on the purple line. Hello.
Hey, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Paul's a terminal. I can't get over him.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we don't have one thing. We're consistent. We don't have quantity and we don't have quality. So at least we got consistency today.
Neil,
we got nothing but dumbbells.
Neil, when was the last game of the Stanley Cup? What day was the last game?
What was the date? How the hell would I know what the last date was? June 14th, something like that.
Was it July?
No, June.
Oh, it was in June.
Yeah, I think the 12th, 13th, something like that.
Oh, I thought it went into July. Okay, so June, July, August. You mean 3 months between the season? Between the ending of the season to the beginning?
Right.
That's quick.
Well, you're upset about that?
Well, no, it's just that baseball is 6 months, football is 6 months, basketball is probably 5 or 6 months. Why is hockey so different?
Because the playoffs go on, because they got so many teams now. The playoffs go on for an eternity.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that, but, it's only like 3 months between, and then the players are
So
back.
what's the problem with that?
Well, what's the point, right? Who cares, right?
No, it's not a question of who cares. Why does it disturb you that there's only 3 months before it started up again?
It doesn't disturb me. I just thought I'd bring that to your attention.
I'm well aware of it.
You are.
I'm very well. And you know something? Nobody is happier that it's coming back than I am.
Oh, I agree.
And I'm going to tell you something else. This group of people that bitched me out because I talked hockey all last year, the winter book, we had a phenomenal rating book, and I talked hockey a lot during it. And based on the response of these people, anything else I bring up, I might just talk hockey every day here, okay? Because at least I get some response to that.
Neil, I don't have a problem
There
with
is
that.
absolutely nothing else that this audience of mine wants to talk about. I could sit here and have 4,275 different pressing things on the table, and these people won't respond to any of it.
Don't have a problem. Let's talk about hockey. That's a good subject, Neil.
Yeah.
Second issue I'd like
What
to
about it?
What, hockey?
Yeah.
Well, I'm an avid hockey fan. I watched 2 or 3 games last year.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
2 or 3 games. That's an avid fan.
Well, whatever. I like football.
Yeah.
So you're happy with Erickson then?
I'm happier than Erickson than Bernie.
Yeah.
Bernie's he's okay for a girls' school. That's about it.
All right. Now let's talk about the quarterback for Philadelphia. You think they'll go after George?
Not if they got half a brain.
Right. And they also were talking about Cunningham.
Yeah.
What do you think about the two?
I think they're desperate. I think they'll do whatever they got to do because this Ty Detmer isn't going to do the job. He's another one. Girls' team.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Let me say it again. Belongs on a girls' team. Not going to get the job done.
All right. Dale, enjoyed talking to you,
Okay,
buddy.
pal. Have a great day. It's Chronic. We have an open line on the purple line, pound IOD. We have one in Dade, 751. We got one in Broward, 524. We got 42 on the green lines. And you're right. I thought that something magical and mysterious and phenomenal was going to happen, and you know what? It didn't. That's how stupid I am. That's how uninformed, that's how idiotic I am to delude myself into believing that something miraculous was going to happen the day that we finally were free from these bastards at Cox Enterprises. And you know something? Nothing has changed because we're still in the same place. I'm not talking about the same building. We're still in the same Bush League place.
It's going to be like this until the billboards come out.
Yeah, right. When's that going to happen? Yeah. When's this gigantic promotional campaign taking place? Not that we're impatient or anything on the first day. Here's a mobile in Coconut Creek. Hello.
How's it going, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. Being a Vietnam veteran does not make a damn bit of difference in politics.
Oh, that guy was a bozo. That guy was a jackass.
Who cares? Yeah, I'll tell you what. I don't even live in Dade County, and I wouldn't vote for Arteal only because Alex Pinellas doesn't support that stupid arena
Right.
that they're trying to waste more money on.
You got one guy who's a puppet. One guy who's a puppet of the hero. The other guy who's got the balls to flaunt, to tell them to blow it out their ass, and that's the choice.
Give me a break. They have more problems and crime and schmutz and filth down there, and they could throw more money in that and help maybe clean up and help the community instead of building another goddamn arena.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, what are they crazy? They're out of their mind. Build another arena. Yeah, let's build another arena for the Heat. Yeah, that's a good one. Why don't we waste more money on a bunch of overpaid pansies anyway?
Okay.
Support Mickey Harrison and his cruise ships.
Okay, Alex, thanks a lot. We have an open line in Dade, 751-946, and watch the language. 751 WIOD. We got 2 in Broward, 524-9463, 524. What happened to all those women we had calling yesterday, man? We had a crap load of women. We had thousands of women. We had them coming out of our earlobes. And what were they saying? Oh, we're so happy Ron and Ron are back. And that was it. That's basically pretty much it. So I guess let's talk again about how great Ron and Ron were this morning, man. We'll have women up the ass today. We'll have women come out of our earlobes. We'll have them coming out of the vents in the ceiling or something coming out of there. Just dummy up, okay? Just shut the crap. We know we're... just shut it up till you're out of this building. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I just want to comment quickly on my view on the changes that have occurred at WIOD.
Yes, sir. Let's go back to that again, okay? We can probably milk a week out of that. Let's get back on that again.
I just got to say that I think that the station right now is taking a serious downward turn because I don't like Ron and Ron.
Yeah.
And I was never wild about Rick and Suds. You're God, and I love you, and I'll see you at the game.
Yeah, I'm
Go
God.
Rangers.
That's why I said. That's why my role in life is to sit here and beg to talk to people 4 hours every day. That's what my show has degenerated into the last several months, calling and pleading and begging for any response to anything, screaming into the wilderness, shouting into like some deep dark hole somewhere.
You're the only guy I'm going to listen to on that station. At least the sex bitch was entertaining. It was fun.
No, she was not. She had her show was a detriment all the way around. See, you're another one of these instant program directors. I mean, obviously you're entitled to your opinion. Her show had no positive impact on this station in the ratings, in income, and anything. Her show was a detriment.
I like to laugh at dumb bitches. That's why I tune her in for about 20 minutes.
But let me say it again. The show had no benefit to the radio station, okay?
Exactly.
I mean, the fact that you're a sexist pig, that's beside the point.
Well, I just think your show is great. Phil was great. I never really liked Rick and Suds.
Well, I love that young guy that calls me in the beginning of the show today and says, "Well, I thought you were going to talk about Phil for a couple of hours."
I'd rather talk about Needle Nose.
But what am I going to talk about Phil for a couple of hours about? Am I just going to sit here and do a tribute and say he's great, he's great, he's great, he's great?
Are you sure?
Positive, he's great, but he's gone.
Can we get tapes of his show? You know how to get that from when he's out there?
Have a great day, pal.
Thanks, Neil.
Okay. Find a life. We have an open line on the blue line in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD, and one on the green lines, as in Yahoo. Let's get our Jeep Cherokees and our pickup trucks all ready, and let's drive a convoy right down to damn Hershey Highway, all right? That's what Sonny Fox said. He said, let's drive it right up Ron Hershey's.
Rectum.
That's what Sonny said, and that's why he ain't there no more, I think. See, they went over there on 441. I'm telling you, there's too many of those spots over there. You know what I'm talking about? Too many of those watering holes on 441. Here's a mobile in North Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil?
Yes, sir.
I'm not a particularly sharp guy, but I got a question for you. Do you feel like the government's hypocritical when it comes to their stance on tobacco?
You know something, sir? We finally struck an intelligent voice, an intelligent chord in the conversation today.
Hey, Neil?
Yeah.
I got a...
Let me ask you something. You think Dan Quayle was hypocritical in his stance on marijuana? Do you think so?
On his stance on what?
Marijuana. Weed.
I don't
pot,
remember what
reefer.
Dan Quayle's stance was on marijuana.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
He stood as close to it as he could.
He said he would smoke it if he could?
Yeah. Okay, pal. Hope that the transplant works out okay for you. We have an open line in Dade, 751 Yahoo. No, we have had an impact. I'm wrong about that. We're getting all the nose pickers now, man. All right. It's like being on the air back in Tampa again. That's what's going on here now. All right. And we have an open line on the green line, 1-800-944-9463. God, I sure miss those Yahoos over there. They call anyway. A lot of response. They're pretty much all like that guy, but at least you get a lot of them, okay? I'd rather have a lot. I'd rather have 1 million callers than one smart guy. I'd rather have 2 million dummies. At least you have some fun with dummies than one guy who thinks he knows what he's talking about, which most of the time they don't. So he sat out the last couple weeks of the season, didn't he, Roberto? Roberto Duran? Here's Hialeah. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, buddy?
Great.
Hope I got you in a good mood.
What does that mean?
Well, these callers have been calling you all day.
Don't worry about the other call. Just worry about yourself. 2 open lines in Dade, 7519. Another call from inside the building, by the way. 751-9463, 751-WIOD. As we're starting to build a little bit of momentum. Not too much. We don't want to get carried away. We got, 49 and 7 is 56 minutes until that playoff game is supposed to start. And thank God this audience has no interest whatsoever. That means we won't have to worry that 1 o'clock a whole bunch of people are going to turn out, go rushing home or rushing to a bar or get their little TV set out or, God forbid, on radio and be listening to some stupid baseball game. We sure don't want that, do we? So thank the Lord that nobody in this audience either cares or knows anything about baseball. Here's Pompano Beach. Hello.
Hello, now?
Yes.
Just calling to say that not everybody hates Ron and Ron.
Yeah.
I think they're one of the best out there. It just will take a little time to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
It just takes a little time.
Well, it's sure taking me time to swing it.
Well, WIOD...
I feel like some guy that's had his bat taken out of his hand. I keep trying to swing it, and there ain't nothing there. And the bat, too.
Well, like any company, any business, you have your ups and downs. And WIOD I've been listening to for probably 8 or 9 years. And you have your good days and your bad days, just like all of us.
Yeah.
Just especially the women.
What does that mean?
Well, you know, like you're going through some changes, and you got some new people coming aboard, and being flip-flopped around, and you got to get into a routine again. Not you particularly. You're always consistent, but the rest of your team, you know,
consistently desperate.
I wouldn't say desperate.
Desperate.
But you have bad days and you have good days.
Yeah.
You know, just like a diet.
No, I don't have bad days. I always have great days. The audience has bad days.
Well, then they need to be crushed.
This town has bad days, like 350 of them a year.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, I would. I would say this town is desperate and just thirsty for some kind of intelligence. This town is thirsty for a personality. This place is as bland as vanilla ice cream, man.
But you got to look at it this way. If it wasn't that way, you wouldn't be on top all the time.
That's a good point.
So you got to look at it.
I'm going to tell you, when I'm the most exciting thing going on in this town, that's the ultimate indictment. Have a great day, pal.
You too.
That's what Howard Gary said. He said, it sounds like the ultimate indictment to me. And Caesar Odious said, what you be talking about? He said, what kind of language is that for a spick like you? We have two open lines in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD, where it's 1213. We're
Talk and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
Screw the callers. Oh!
In the forest, the quiet forest, the rabbit sweeps tonight. I sneak wide up, I get him tied up beneath the pale moonlight.
You son of a bitch.
My gun is ready, my hand is steady, I've got him in my sight. Don't wanna kill him, just wanna dwell him. I hope he's nice and tight. As I weem away, 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 I weem away. I weem away, 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 I weem away. I wipe my dipstick up on his whipstick and thank him for the dance. But he's no weighty, he's white Ned Beatty in the reverence. As I weem away, 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 I weem away. That's what I call splitting hairs.
What's up, Doc?
Okay, 1218 at WIOD, Philadelphia Federal Court. They're still hocking a Chinik over there less than an hour before the game is going to start, and who cares? Thank God, nobody cares. We have two open lines in Broward. We had a phenomenal response on there, and they held on for about 30 seconds, and that was the end of them. Two open lines in Broward, 524, and two on the green lines. Boy, I'm going to tell you, don't ever count on the people in this town for a life. Here's Stuart on the purple line. Hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to say a couple things. First, your call is all over the board today. These calls are everywhere. Hey,
what does that mean? They're all over the board?
They're talking about 15, 20, 30, 60 different things today.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me lose track of what's going on. Let me throw my 2 cents in on baseball. Baseball sucks.
They don't care about baseball. I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize that I even brought it up.
I hate it.
I'm sorry that I mentioned it.
Well,
someday I'll discover what they do care about, but it's sure as hell nothing that I've ever discussed. They don't care about nothing.
No, go back to hockey.
They don't care about that either.
Yeah, and I hope the Rimmer gets that job. Maybe we'll get rid of Fat Hank.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna tell you something. If they hired Rimmer to be on from noon to 3 with syphilis or whoever they put him on there, the idea that Fat Hank would get up and walk out is so ludicrous. The day that Rimmer walked in there the first time, Hank would be kissing his ass.
Yeah, because
you can bet your life on it.
You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
The biggest phony ever to be born in the history of the human race. That's the Fat Man.
I hate to jump on the dumb bandwagon, but I've been listening to you talk about the sports channel for the past 3 months, and it wasn't until I picked up my TV guide and found out that I'm not going to get to see the Flyers and the Panthers opening night.
Wow, what cable you got?
I got Delphi and Delray Beach, and they don't carry the sports channel. I called them yesterday.
Yes, they do. That's what we've been told.
No, I just called them yesterday. They said they carried the sports channel a few years ago, and it was such a dog that they dumped it, and there's no way they're going to take it back on. So what do? I call
I never heard of such a thing. We were told that everybody except TCI will have it on in time for the weekend. That's what I was told.
I called the Delphi Cable yesterday in Delray Beach.
Well, whoever you talk to, I think either they're dispensing baloney or we've been getting it.
So if I go to a dish, I called Prime Star, and they said they don't carry Sports Channel either.
Yeah.
What kind of a dish do I do?
I haven't got any idea until this weekend.
Okay.
Because now I'm beginning to believe that I've been fed a lot of bullcrap.
Huh.
And I'm going to tell you something. Sports Channel is not on the small dish as of yesterday. I know that.
Well, that's what they told me.
So I'm not going to go tell you to go out and invest hundreds of dollars and then have you find out, well, surprise, it didn't get on there yet. See, this thing, they waited way too long to get this thing going. Do you know what I'm saying? In other words, it was way down the road after the season, that Sunshine, that they decided it was going to be on Sports Channel because Wayne owns it. And it was backed up again. Like the guy said before, there was only 3 months in between the seasons. And it's backed up against the time limit, and now here we are a few days away from opening night Saturday, and nobody knows what's going on.
I just want to watch my Panthers. That's all.
Yeah, I understand. So does everybody else. But in the meantime, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know what it is, because evidently I've been fed a lot of baloney.
Thank you, Neil.
Okay, good luck to us, pal.
Here, Peter North Scott.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
We have an open line on the purple line, pound IOD. I'm positive that I was told. In fact, I don't want to bring Reamer's name back up to this again, but we discussed that last time he was here, right, a couple of weeks ago? Everybody's going to have it. I keep getting assured of that. The small dish, they're going to have it. And now we're finding out, like from this guy, he calls his cable people. I say, hey, forget it. You ain't going to get it. TCI, you're not going to get it. Is there anybody out there who thinks that they might be able to see it? I know I'll see it because I got the big dish. It'll be on F121 on Saturday night if you got the big dish. If not, well, hey, good luck to us. Here's a mobile in Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'd like an honest opinion.
Yeah.
What is that trash they have on in the morning now? I mean, are those guys supposed to be even remotely amusing?
I got news for you, man. They got a big audience.
I mean,
you said you want an honest opinion, and you start out by saying, what is that trash? If you don't like it, what can I tell you?
I mean,
you either like it or you don't like it, or you give it a chance or you don't give it a chance.
I did, but have they had a following down here? Did they have any numbers when they were here?
Yes, they did. They had gigantic numbers here, yes.
Okay.
On Zeta.
Okay.
So it's not for you.
I guess not.
Okay, pal.
Have a good one. Bye.
See, you want to do that the rest of the week? Go ahead, be my guest. I mean, it's boring as taking a long cat nap out in the middle of the mountains somewhere. But hey, if that's what turns your crank. Open line at Dade, 751-2 in Broward, 524, as we're in the middle of a gigantic transition here, like I said. Here's Fort Lauderdale on the purple line. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Does this switch over mean that we've lost Smoke This?
I haven't got any idea. You can only hope.
I say we hope we lost Neil Won't Like It, too.
Yeah. I have no idea about the weekend programming. I have no idea about the new guy at night, when he's going to start. Defoe is here the month of October. Whether he's going to be here beyond that, I don't know.
Do we know who's going to be on at night?
I don't know.
Okay. I was listening to Smoke This last weekend.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was trapped.
He's a legend in his own mind, Dave. What do you want from that guy?
Now, is that Dave Graveline?
No, it is not. It's Dave Zeplowitz.
Oh, thank God. Because the voice, the inflection he was using, I thought to myself, oh, my God, this is Dave Graveline with a new scam.
Yeah.
But I feel better now knowing it's somebody else.
So, where's Davey Graveline?
The Cigar General.
It's Dave Zeplowitz, man. This is a Jewish guy. Don't start calling him Davey Graveline.
Long Ashes.
Right.
Okay, I'm out of material.
Okay, pal. Thanks for your great call. Purple line is open. Pound IOD. We got one in Broward, 5249463. God. Oh, my God. Please save us from this. I think I'm ready to turn to religion, okay? It's never too late. Here's a lady in Coral Springs. Hello.
Neil, I am
ma'am.
a lady.
Yeah.
I hate Ron and Ron.
Yeah. So?
We listened to Bo on Power 96 this morning.
Yeah.
And switched back and forth between Bo
why
and
do you say
Ranieri.
why do you say it with such a hussy, with such a venom?
Because I don't understand how anybody can say they enjoy him. I've asked about 15 people, and everybody's saying they don't want to listen.
Well, you know something? We had a lot of calls yesterday.
I know,
and
I was one of them and told you I didn't like him then,
so,
too.
So in other words, you're going to call me every day now and tell me you don't like Ron? Get out of here. I don't want the same women that called. I want different women, not the same people to call. She's like the gambling guy. Go to Atlantic City with that loser, will you? Maybe he can kidnap that bitch and take her to Atlantic City with him. She calls yesterday to tell me she didn't like Ron and Ron, and now she feels compelled to call me again to tell me the same thing. What a bunch of children, man. If you don't like it, like you said, you turned over Power 96. I hope you loved it. Life goes on. It's like we somehow have an obligation to put something on an everyday part that everybody's going to like. We never had that before, but now suddenly we've got an obligation. We're going to have something on morning, noon, and night for the lifeless out there, for people who have no life except their little radio. I have my life in my hand and my radio, too. Oh, my God. Take up a hobby, sweetheart. Go out for a good brisk walk in the morning, or just a good brisk. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? Look, I just want to give my personal opinion with all these idiots who keep on talking about Ron and Ron.
Yes?
I think everybody should hear and listen to whoever the hell they want to listen to.
Right.
And screw them.
They've been on the air for 2 days here, and I got a woman calls me both days to tell me that she doesn't like him. Like her opinion is the ultimate barometer of human taste.
I know what you mean. I mean, these people are really stupid, man.
If you like it, fine. If you don't like it, I hope they do a 10 share for my own selfish purposes.
Yeah.
And they'll do well or poorly, regardless of whether I listen to it or not.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
I don't know what it means. You know,
I get so. This is the nature of this town. Okay, is they've got a death wish for everybody. Somebody can come on here for 5 minutes here, and right away they're ready to run them out of town on a rail. It's always been that way. I've been here for 20 years. It's never been any different.
Well, Miami's full of assholes, man.
No kidding.
Can I say something to my brother on the air?
Yes, sir.
Inflame. Thank you.
Thank God he didn't say something we understand. What's that new Louis? I know what he said. Just calm down, will you, Super Spick? Just put a lid on it, okay? You're like nodding your head. You're nodding and bobbing, okay?
I thought I was weaving.
You're bobbing with Robin. 12:20. Oh, and by the way, Barbara Bowie. 12:28 at WIOD.
Talk and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
12:31 at WIOD. Wouldn't you leave it to us to get the story behind the story? Somebody who had dinner with an umpire, who once was an aunt or uncle of somebody who once was, or lunch or breakfast or a snack or a slice of pizza at a Subway, says that John Hirschbeck's comment to Alomar that set him off is after they got into the argument about the ball and the strike call. Hirschbeck says, "You little sucker." So I guess now you have to ask yourself, because now it's 12:31, 36 minutes away. There's Alomar taking batting practice right now as I speak, by the way, in Camden Yards. And they're still in court. They're still in federal court in Philadelphia, and they're still like Major League Baseball is suing because, needless to say, the umpires aren't legally supposed to be able to strike. So if somebody called you a filthy little sucker, would you spit in their face? There's something for you to start thinking about, all you self-righteous guys that called before. Do something in their puss.
Squirt, squirt.
Exactly. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Parallel lives of two children, man, that grow up one on one.
What? Let me ask you a question. Have you got like a sock over the phone or what?
No, man, I just keep dropping my telephone on the floor.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Can't understand a word you're saying. Can't understand a word. Cannot understand a word you're saying, man. It sounds like you got 80 pounds of mush on your phone. We have an open line in Dade, 751. What the hell was he talking about? Anybody got a clue? Here's Boca. Hello. Boca. Okay, let's moving right along. Here's Kendall. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? I have a little opinion on the Hummers deal.
Yeah.
It's obvious that he's obsessed with you, and so I think it's all jealousy since Rimmer's friends with you.
Yeah. Well, isn't that pretty juvenile, huh?
Yep.
Infantile.
And by the way, the shows with Rimmer are great when he's on the show with you. Cause
yeah.
I don't hear.
Well,
better.
he's not coming on the show again unless he's got the balls to open up a mouth and stand up for himself.
Well, you don't need to stoop to his level, though.
That's not the point. But the point is, you can't keep whining and whining and whining that somebody is picking on you and attacking you without having the balls to, to tell it like it is. Sooner or later, you got to stand up for yourself. You got to fight your battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, in closing, Neil, I got a boner to pick with you.
Okay, a maha bonus. We have an open line in Dade, 751-9463, 751. Here's Margate. Hello. Margate.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, I got to give you a little update on the TCI situation up here. I got off the phone with them. It's going to be a premium channel.
And
Yeah.
anybody that doesn't want to pay for it, it's going to work out to about $1 a game. So everybody should
Starting
order it
when? Starting
if
when?
they want it, and see you later.
Starting when?
Well, that's the problem. They don't know exactly when. I'm very incensed over the situation. And there was a PR lady on the other station this morning who gave them a tremendous major runaround. She said nothing for 10 minutes about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Now, what I heard also, one of the cable companies down in Miami is taking off WOR 9 New York and giving them the sports channel.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair trade.
Right.
I think it's wonderful.
I don't think it's fair at all. I think it sucks. I think they should take off the food channel or one of those Bible-thumping channels or one of those country music nose-picking channels.
And I got religious channels, Spanish channels, and stuff that I really don't need. Nobody ever asked me what I would like.
Right. Well, they don't care. They just want your money.
I understand that. The point is also the FCC is working on a situation whereby if you live in a condominium, you will be able to put a dish up on your roof, which you cannot do now. And what I was told by one of the Radio Shack people who I was in touch with is to keep watching the news. The FCC is working on it because there are thousands and thousands of people who are out in the market for a small dish because of that situation. So that will be coming eventually also. There's no timetable on it, but it's being worked on.
Well, the FCC already passed the first part of the legislation that takes away from the condos most of their authority to tell you where you can stick it and how you can put it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay, because I inquired. I would be the first one to put up the dish.
But let me say it to you again for the 8 millionth time, okay? Because I'm tired. I'm trying to help out the Panthers, as I always do.
Right.
I'm trying to help out Sports Channel because that's the home of the Panthers. But you know something? I'm tired of going on the air and being given misinformation of telling people, oh, yes, it's going to be on a small dish, it's going to be on Adelphia, and then people making phone calls and finding out, well, guess what? Not yet, and who knows when.
TCI up here in Margate.
Forget about TCI, okay?
I'm telling you what they told me. Eventually will be on as a premium
You know
channel.
something? Eventually the world is going to freeze,
I
too.
understand that.
But don't hold your breath.
But I'll be at the Ranger game in person, so at least I'll catch the first one.
Well, thank God for that.
I got it.
Okay,
Thanks, pal.
good luck, pal.
Bye.
See, there's one thing. It's bad enough to be used by people, which I'm used to. We're all get used in the media. But if you're going to be used and you have the best of intentions, at least give me the right information. At least inform me. At least give me something correct to put out there to the public so they know whether they're going to have the stuff or they got to go to Tony's bar or they got to go over to Rosie Paymon's place up there in order to watch a hockey game. Here's Delray Beach. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
About that sports channel, there's 4 different divisions of Adelphia Cable. And Adelphia and Boynton Delray does not carry sports channel.
Yeah.
But in Palm Beach Gardens and South Martin County, they do on Channel 50. And West Boca, they do not carry the sports channel. And Adelphia and West South Central, it's on Channel 39.
Well,
So
you know something? What you just told me there is more than my mind can comprehend. You know what I'm saying? In other words, if I'm supposed to be Sports Channel Central and I'm supposed to have the information, how the hell am I going to know when they all got their testicles and tentacles in 100 different directions? How am I going to know?
I'm reading from their official conversion chart as of October 5th, 96.
Yeah.
And I'm just going by what I read. I'm saying, but Sports Channel is carried by Adelphia, but in different sections. Like I said, there's 4 different divisions of Adelphia. And they don't carry it in West Boca, they don't carry it in Boynton Delray area, but in other areas that they have contracts with, like I said, Palm Beach Gardens and South Martin, they do carry Sports Channel on Channel 50.
Okay.
And that's all. I just thought
I'm making a roadmap right now. Thanks a lot, pal.
All right.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay, so who's on first, man? Have we got any idea or what? We got 2 open lines in Broward, 5249463. 1 on the green line. Yeah, the Flyers and the Panthers Saturday night on Sports Channel. Does anybody have it yet? Let me say it again. If you got the big dish, F124. No sparkle, or 21, sorry, F121. Which is Greek to 99% of you because you don't have a big dish and you wouldn't know where to stick it if you had it. Here's Oakland Park on the purple line. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy?
Okay.
I'd like to make a
doing
comment.
the best I can under the circumstances, man.
I
doing
hear
the
you.
best I can with the mediocre lot that I've been cast in life.
Well, let me just make a comment about the Ron and Ron show.
Yes?
I was a faithful listener during the old Zeta days when they had a cast of thousands.
Right.
Now the show is a little different, being that now it's a threesome.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to give it some time because they really are funny. If you listen to their Howard sperm, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Thanks for your brilliant comment and your obscenity. We have an open line on the purple line, pound IOD. If you got Mobile One Cell, AT&T Wireless, the Paxson people pay for it. How do you like that, huh? They got the money. They can handle it. And we got an open line in Broward, 524-9463, 524. So it's 12:38. We got 29 minutes until the first game of the playoffs is supposed to start between the Orioles and the Indians. And here's Peter Gammon sitting there pontificating with every hair on his head as gray as the fallen snow. And that's it. And life goes on in America. You little sucker. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil. Just a comment on the umpire situation. I've umpired in various levels all the way up to Senior League and American Legion Ball.
Yeah.
And the first thing you're taught as an umpire is you're supposed to have rabbit ears, and no matter what goes on, you are there just as a mediator. You're not supposed to...
dream on. Not this crowd of guys we got today.
Well, I understand that, and as you said, back when there were umpires that were there to do umpiring and not to be stars, today we have too many stars that are umpires also, and I think that's kind of the problem. Everybody is so afraid of being shown up. They're more worried about being shown up than doing their job. And, to me, this is the idea that they're threatening to walk off just because Alomar is going to be on the field. That is beyond absurd.
Did you ever read Dave Pallone's book, the former American League umpire?
Yes, I did.
National League umpire?
Yeah.
And, that was written years ago, and he goes on at great length about his battles with Pete Rose and about how umpires routinely would single guys out, and no matter where the pitch was, they would call it a strike, or no matter how far they were safe, they would call them out. This is nothing new. This has been going on for a long time.
I agree. But to make an issue out of one... And I agree that he shouldn't have spit in his face. I agree that
of course he shouldn't have.
Yeah, there should have been some penalty for that. But the idea of threatening to boycott the playoffs and the series is it's absurd.
Yep.
So,
okay, pal.
Okay,
thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we have an open line in Broward, 524. There's John Miller. Talk about a fat-faced fart. There's John Miller getting ready to do the game. Of course, the Orioles and the Indians, we know he'll be objective since he's the Orioles announcer. Maybe at least if he doesn't do any impersonations during the game, that'll be an improvement, okay? I'll tell you one thing right now. John Miller couldn't carry Mel Proctor's jockstrap, okay, when it comes to broadcasting baseball. John Miller reminds me of somebody we have locally, which I don't want to mention Joe Angel's name. Great voice, could be fantastic, but he's more obsessed with trying to be a comedian and with being an impersonator and all this other stuff, and just instead of concentrating on the game. So he does that staged excitement, staged fake excitement. If you're calling an exciting game, you shouldn't have to fake it. It's like a fake orgasm, okay? If it's going pretty good for you, you shouldn't have to fake it. But hey, what can I tell you? So what do we got in there? We got a bunch of crap. What do we got? We got the stuff from, what's his name?
You should try one of those croquettes.
It just doesn't sound like something. I should try it?
Yes.
See, JC's here. Are you still here or what?
Where have you been?
I've been here every day. That's where I've been. Where have you been?
I've been here every day.
Yeah, that's what's your here, or what's your story? You're a Cox person now, or like...
from the Paxton lunch.
Oh, you came back from the Paxton lunch, and how was it? It sucked? Yeah, that's why they came back here to bring us some good food. So here's the stuff from what used to be Deliciosa Bakery, which is now called Delightful Bakery in West Kendall. And what is it? Yeah, but what about the chicken croquettes that George was just raving about? What is that?
I don't know.
Chicken croquette sounds like for Goyim. It doesn't sound like something I would enjoy at all. It's for Goyim. How can these have, these are breaded?
I guess it's that soy meal stuff or something. He says it's low carb. Hey, I'll eat them if you don't like them.
Is there something you dip them in?
There can be, but not as a rule.
You dip them in your what?
Rectum.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. What is it? It looks like it's pre-tasted.
Looks like tuna salad. Chicken salad.
Chicken what? Oh, salad. So thanks, JC. It's nice to see JC is still with us. He was just over at the Paxton lunch. Where was the food from? Oh, I guess we better not say. He said it was pretty weak. It wasn't up to our usual spectacular standards, is what he said. So the chicken croquettes are delicious, even though they're not I don't know what they are. Here's Pompano. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you today?
Okay.
Neil, I'm pretty tired of the misinformation, and there's a certain that we get bombarded with all over, and I'm just tired of a certain fat sportscaster, or whatever you want to call him, or however he...
The sports hog? Yeah.
Whatever, okay. Sports pig. In any other market, Neil, he would be tending bar, and that would be his occupation.
Yeah.
For instance, he is such a phony. He claims that he knows the NFL on Friday he said Houston was the best bet of the weekend.
Oh, sorry.
He said San Diego, Kansas City would with the Kansas City was the second best. He had finally made up his mind in that game. Kansas City was the second best bet.
Yeah.
There are people who probably followed his lead and booked those games that way.
I remember when we had the Breeders' Crown at Gulfstream the last time. What was it, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
And he made his picks in every one of the 10 races. I mean the Breeders' Cup. And every one he finished was off the board.
Yeah.
He never got one race right out of 10.
He's living on a reputation that was never there to begin with.
Yeah.
And to have the influence over people the way he does, it's people should get hip and know that he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm just tired of him. You guys.
Well, there's that certain element of people who want to gamble on every game that they watch, and if they can't gamble on it, they have no interest, who aren't really sports fans anyway. They're just compulsive gamblers, and that's basically his crowd, and evidently there must be a lot of them.
You're probably right. He probably is a chronic gambler. He probably loses a lot of money every time.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's his business.
Anyway, I enjoy your show. I miss Phil Henry, but Ron and Ron are okay.
Okay, pal.
Thanks.
See ya. Well, there's a guy who said that they're being okay, is what he said. So anyway, it's 12:45. I'm thinking about it, okay? He's looking in here like, are you going to do the break now, or are you just thinking about it? I'm thinking about it.
Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
So this is like rice pudding without the rice. Did you taste this? No. Oh, man, is this good. I wonder how many carbs there are in this. Obviously not much. Oh, God, is that good. From our friend Jorge down at Delightful Bakery, which used to be Deliciosa Bakery, which is located at, I don't know. It's Sunset and 151st Ave West in West Kendall. I think that's right. Sounds right to me. Here's Kendall. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Great.
I already thanked George, but I wanted to thank you for my tape Friday.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Well, we got two people that called in to say thank you. That's good.
Well, you know, people always move, so I always make it a point to call back and thank you. I took your advice and I gave Ron and Ron a chance. I listened to them yesterday, but today they were not bad.
Today's show was much better than yesterday.
And I actually came to the conclusion, I think I'm pretty much on the button. Their show in and of itself is not bad at all. It's their dumb redneck call-ins that drive
you know something that when I was driving to work this morning, I was thinking once people in Miami know more of their Miami crowd, because if you notice, the people who have discovered them are calling from down here don't sound like that. They sound like real people, some of them, which is shocking.
Right, yeah.
And I was thinking once we get fewer of those yahoos on there, it'll make for a much more livable show.
Exactly.
But then I come in here, and if you listen to the calls that I'm getting, I'm thinking to myself, who the hell am I to be making judgments about callers on anybody's show?
Yeah, I know.
This is unbelievable.
But they were
every day that I work in this market, it's like the first day I come in here. Seriously. Then I got this bitch that calls a while ago that wants to call for the second day in a row to tell me her same opinion. She don't like Ron and Ron.
Exactly.
Like she's compelled to tell us.
Well, I took your advice, and I'll give them another chance, and I probably will lean towards them. You know, they got to get used to them.
Or not, as the case may be, whatever.
Exactly. But, you know, I took your advice. You know, my station doesn't change. I listen to you guys all the time when I'm in, when I have the chance, except at night. So I prefer to keep it that way if I can help it.
Okay.
Straight through. One request, if I can.
Yeah.
The little kid with the daddy using his thing as a toothbrush.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Have a great day.
Uncle Neil. Take care.
By the way, I'm not sure if that's on the same disc with that other one. You know, the Jesus Excedrin one, which somehow mysteriously disappeared out of the box. By the way, could that have been an act of God?
Good thing we put them on the best of.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good thing they're on the best of, and that they've been preserved for posterity, and we'll sooner or later get them back. Open line in Dade, 751. We got one in Broward, 524. One on a green line, one of each color. How do you like that? We got a purple one and a red one. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hi, how you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Listen, talking about fat asses way too fat to fit in the seats they sit in.
Yeah.
I mean, who was the genius that put Hank Goldberg on Sports Jam Live? I mean, at least on radio, we don't have to see his face.
Mm-hmm.
He's there sweating it out big time in that jacket he's got on. It's like 3 sizes too small.
Yeah.
What's his problem?
I think it's one word, fat. I think that's the word.
No, it's beyond fat.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
And I don't know where, I mean, people betting on the guy has never played a down of football in his life.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd break any horse's back.
Yeah.
So where's he an expert? I don't know where he gets off calling himself an expert on all these.
He's an expert on fact. Just ask him. We got 2 open lines in Dade, 751 WIOD. We got one in Broward, 5249463, and one on the green line as we continue searching for a caller who's... We've had a few. Not many. And as far as the women are concerned, if she thinks that she was doing me a favor by calling back the second day in a row, hawking the same Chinik, after... See, yesterday was just a false alarm. I must be the dumbest guy on the face of the earth to get sucked in to those first 2 hours yesterday. Like, oh, my God, look what's going on here. Sure ain't happening again. Here's Delray Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Okay.
About these umpires, they think that they're the damn game themselves, especially the baseball umpires.
Yeah.
They get involved with the personalities of the guys on the other team, and it's the same in every sport.
Hey, the hockey referees are even worse. Their performance is the worst it has ever been. I couldn't even name one that I would consider good anymore, and they're destroying the game.
Yep, and it's all with the person. If it's somebody touches Eric Lindros, boom, he's in the box.
Yeah.
Lindros can sit there and hack on people all day. Forget about it. He's not going to call
It's like the game that the Panthers played against Washington last year up in Washington, and Paul Stewart was the referee, and butchered gave us so many penalties. We were 2 men short and almost cost us the game. So then he turns around and compensated by calling 100 penalties on the Capitals until we finally went ahead and won the game. I have never seen such a butcher job in a hockey game as Paul Stewart did that night. It was unbelievable. And he's another one who's become a real big personality in his own mind.
Yeah, and this thing about evening things up all the time. What the hell's that all about?
Yeah.
I mean, call the game according to the play that's going on the
that
field.
philosophy is if you make one mistake, making 2 is better than 1.
Oh, that's ridiculous. And these baseball umps are squeezing the strike zone so damn small.
Yeah.
No wonder the guys are all hitting 50 home runs. I mean, you got to throw it in a thimble to get a called strike. It's ridiculous. A ball goes across a guy's belt line and it's high. Give me a break.
Yeah. Well, once upon a time, there was a definitive strike zone. It used to be from the knees to the armpits,
Oh, right.
That, in addition to which, it sounds like the beginning of that is chopped off. Because we're used to that news part. We chopped it off, man. We chopped the thing right off.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Okay, here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Shut up already. Cut the crap.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It's the 1.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy your show. I just wanted one quick question. Who performed the song that you played a few days ago, play-by-play? I saw it on the radio.
Who performed it?
Yeah.
Some guy.
Okay, it's you know if it's available or...
Yeah, it's on. I'll get the... Oh, jeez, here we go. So, in other words, you don't really want to talk to me. You just want to ask me some silly question about...
No, I don't have any material, just a question.
Oh, brother. Oh, this town, man. What am I going to do? Well, Phil Henry had the right idea. He made the right move. I hope you're still in town and listening on the way out, Phil. You were right, I was wrong. It's Baseball's Greatest Hits, Volume 2 is the name of the album.
Okay.
And it's Terry Cashman did that particular cut, but it's on that album. Baseball's Greatest Hits. It's on CD, cassette, whatever.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, pal.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I get goosebumps on my
Rectum.
when I hear that song. That's what that guy said. We have an open line in Dade, 751. We got all of Broward waiting on you, 524-9463, 524. We just don't care. There's nothing that you can say to move us off the dime, mister. We just don't care. We don't like you. We hate you like poison. And we have 2 open lines on the green lines. Oh, the baseball game's coming on. It's time for Luis Miguel, I think. Luis is getting ready to open his puss right now. Here's what is that with Hollywood? Is this like the comedy hour now on that thing or what? Here's Kendall. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Buenos dias.
Hey, I'm listening to all the comments made about the Ronna Woulfe show.
Yes, sir.
And what these people, I guess, don't realize is that if they could have seen their outdoor venues that they had down here, where the police had to block off for miles.
They have a jillion listeners. That's right.
And just give them a chance and realize.
No, wait a minute. It's got nothing to do with giving them a chance. If they like it, fine. If they don't like it, fine. But the fact is that they're the morning show and they're not going anywhere.
No.
They're going to be there.
No. Now, they are streamed down a little bit. There are 2 members that are no longer with them.
Right.
That probably drew in that Flipper or whatever his name was.
Yeah, he's flipping
probably
it.
Drew
he's doing
in
his satellite.
Yeah, that grunge crowd thing or whatever. But I'm sure these guys, once they get a chance, they're going to have, as big as audience as ever, and that's going to bleed over into you guys the rest of the day.
That's what I'm hoping for. You see, one thing people don't get, and of course they don't really care, they're just selfish and interested in their own thing, but there hasn't been one word of promotion. I mean, there was a silly little article in the newspaper that nobody reads, and that was it. Other than that, the Ron and Ron audience, 99% of the people down here who like them, they don't even know they're back on the air yet.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly right.
So for me to sit here the second day that they've been on the air and expect to see some visible and audible change here, it ain't going to happen.
Right. I spoke with them yesterday, Monday morning at about 6:15, and welcomed them back. And they were telling me off the air that they're going to make Miami their home base.
Right. They're coming here in January
1. Now,
right.
Are they going to be broadcasting out of your studio?
Sure.
Is that right?
Right.
I didn't know that.
They sure are.
Oh. What brought about that change? I mean, when did that happen?
What do you mean, what brought it about?
Is that part of the whole deal that transpired?
Sure. I mean, if the IOD is going to be the main station on the Ron and Ron network, this is the biggest market, so it would make all the sense in the world for them to be based here and for more of their material to be about what's going on here. We don't give a damn about the Tampa Bay Bucks or the Lightning or about a lot of the Yahoo stuff that's going on over there.
Right.
So the fact that they can concentrate more on what's happening here and make this the centerpiece of the show, that's going to help a lot.
Right. One more thing. Boy, I'm glad you're not a full-time sports talk show, because I've never really listened to one. And these callers talking about the baseball spitting and this and that, boy, it's the capital B for boring. You talk about...
Not only boring, but they don't know what they're talking about.
No.
I mean, it could be very interesting if you were talking with somebody that knew what they were talking about, but they're just talking out their ass. They don't know what they're talking about.
No. Some Yahoo reads an article in the Miami Herald and they get on the phone and they're an instant expert.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, thanks.
Have a great day, pal.
Okay, bye.
We have an open line at Dade, 751-9463, 751 Mahabon, and we have two open lines in Broward, 524 Baba Booey, 524-9463. Here's a mobile implantation. Hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
How about those Panthers this weekend?
Yeah.
They sent, looks like they sent Worrell down to the juniors.
Oh, yeah, he's not going to be, he's never going to.
Too slow, no.
Too ponderous, too plodding.
What about the fighter? The one they picked up in the bar up in Canada.
You mean Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still hanging, isn't he?
He's still on the squad as of the moment.
Well,
I like the way you said the other one. That was kind of interesting.
All right, well,
you mean the other black guy?
Well, there's a bunch of them this year. What can you say?
Yeah.
But where are your seats there?
In a bad spot.
I thought you were down like behind the goal on the on Wayne's side.
Not anymore.
You moved?
We moved to 106, man, and we're regretting every second of it.
Yeah, because we're in 102, which is pretty good seats right there behind.
Well, the seats are okay, but the we'll see what happens with that Ranger game. I'm going to tell you, we had a nightmare, that Philadelphia exhibition game.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of rowdy, inconsiderate, obnoxious assholes, and if their behavior is the same on the Ranger game, there's going to be a war in that section. I promise you that right now.
I could kind of tell that from where I was sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little rowdiness going on.
Not just rowdy, but just inconsiderate, and people that had no interest in the game or letting anybody else watch it. And trust me when I tell you, Adam, which is the guy's name, not you, Adam, but another Adam, this guy and his cohorts of jackasses are going to either learn how to watch a game and let other people enjoy it, or they can watch it on the outside.
Well, most of the people in our section are prancing back and forth to the club underneath, up and down the aisles the whole
I'm going to tell you, we made a
hockey.
bad mistake. See, I didn't have any choice because they eliminated the seats that I used to sit in because it's handicapped up there now, 125.
Yeah.
So those rows, the last two rows in there don't even exist anymore.
Well, they took them out of 102 as well.
So we thought we were getting a big favor done for us by moving to 106 because it's, still row R, but it's like right between the blue line and center ice, which you would think would be a great spot, but you got the blind spot along the near boards where you can't see anything, and then you got people leaning forward and ass slapping and everything, and it's a nightmare.
Well, they'll still have a good season this year, and we'll enjoy it.
Okay, if we can see it.
Let me throw something in on this umpire Alomar thing.
Yes, sir.
I take it that you have an opinion on what precipitated all that crap?
Yeah.
Well, I think the umpires are getting out of hand, too. I think they're kicking people out of games for no reason at all. They're showing up players like Sheffield time and time again.
And Albert
the
Bell.
The guy made a bonehead call on that strike, and it's like they're playing for the playoffs.
Right.
And
then when he complained about it from the dugout, he came out and the umpire called Alomar a little sucker. How do you like that?
Yeah, and, I mean, I don't condone what Alomar did. Spitting on it was kind of childish and stupid, but, you know, this whole thing, and now they're going to walk out in another half hour? Or
No,
right
they're there right now. They showed up.
Oh, they're playing?
Yeah, they had a change of heart.
They didn't get the injunction against them?
They did get the injunction against them walking out.
Okay, well, they didn't have a change of heart. They, were getting ready to lose a bunch of money, or...
They were getting ready to lose their jobs is what it boils down to. And they said, oh, well, guess what? We'll do it another way.
So, yeah, umpires are more to blame for all of this crap than anybody.
Amen. They're on a power trip.
Yeah, they're on a real big power trip, and half of them are about to die on the field.
Kill the umpire, man.
Well, what can you say? They've been doing that for 100 years, too.
Okay, have a great day.
You too, Neil.
Open line and Dade. 751-9463. One in Broward, 524-9463. So J.C. went down to get his check, and I said, we got one last day from the Cox people that we're getting paid for, which was yesterday, which was our last Cox day, which I really thought was going to change something in my life, and evidently did not at all, which is very depressing. I'm going to go home and blow my brains out right after the game is over. Well, no, before you croak, you want to find out how the game came out, don't you? That's what Dr. Jack says. He says, before you put that plastic bag over your head and take those barbiturates, be sure and watch the ninth inning of the game. Unless, of course, it goes extra innings, then you might have time to change your mind. Oh, man. Oh, God. That strawberry mousse is so good. I mean, I can't begin to tell you the last time I had anything that satisfying in my mouth. Especially the first day for Paxson. We have an open line at Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD, and a couple on the green lines, 1-800, let's blow this joint. Here's a mobile in Pompano Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Tim here. The other day I was listening to you. You'd mentioned about the racing season up at Pompano getting kicked off. Is that Friday evening?
Right, Friday and Saturday.
Great. What time's Friday nights that start at?
7:30.
Cool. Can you pick them?
Yeah, I can pick them with the best. I usually use my little finger instead of my index finger. I'll see you there, pal.
All right, buddy.
All right. Two open lines at Broward, 524-9463 on a desperate Tuesday, man. What a change. What a letdown after yesterday's phenomenal. I thought that this was a love fest. I thought that we had turned the corner. I thought that we were emancipated. I thought that life was going to be worth living. And, man, just a sock in the puss. I mean, spitting in the face is nothing compared to what I get just about every day. Spitting in somebody's face is little league. It's baby crap compared to what goes on here. As the audience just basically dares you, defies you to make it through the 4 hours without absolute self-immolation. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
Listen, I know it's not fashionable, but, I'm going to refute some of these callers that are bashing baseball, all right? Number one, like I said, some of these people don't have a mind of their own. And as far as excitement, you cannot tell me that baseball, the last month and last year's playoffs, were not as exciting as any football game that I've seen other than...
Baseball's pretty boring.
Well, Neil, you're going to tell me that the Yankee-Seattle series was not exciting last year?
I couldn't care less.
Well, that's your opinion.
The only way I could care less if Seattle beats them, then I'm happy. The Yankees win, I get very depressed.
But how could you say that when 2 years ago before the strike you were talking about the Cubs and how baseball was a good sport to watch and relax?
I used to love baseball. Used to. And like most people with a brain, I decided that it's just not worth the aggravation anymore. I watch it because it's there during the summertime, and the summer here is so boring that anything you can find on the dish, you just have it there because it's there. But during the regular season, baseball is like taking I'd rather take a good nap is more refreshing and revitalizing than wasting 2-3 hours on a ball game.
Well, as I said, that's your opinion, but if you were a watcher of the playoffs or the wild card races this year, it has been exciting baseball. And I'll tell you right now, NFL has not done a darn thing for me this year. They have not been exciting.
Oh, you know something? I agree with you. I think I've said that myself, that I'm getting really sour on football. In fact, even though I'm not much of a college football fan, some of the more exciting games, well, of course, most of the college games are 77-3 anyway because they're playing girls' schools.
Exactly.
But when you do have a game that's pretty interesting, like Ohio State beating the snot out of Notre Dame, that's entertaining only because you hate a particular school.
Okay, granted.
Wisconsin and Penn State was exciting. Kid just missed a 47-yard field goal in the final couple of seconds that would have tied it up for Wisconsin.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you fully on
But
that
football,
point.
I would agree. Football has gone downhill. And again, the reason with most sports is because the dilution of talent with the tremendous expansion has created, it's a farce. It's a farce. That's the one thing that saved hockey as far as the expansion is the fact that we're able to get all the European and the Russian players and the Swedish players. This is the only thing that saved hockey.
I agree with you on that point, okay? But it's very, first of all, I'm a firm believer that this is not a baseball town.
Hey, well, there's no question about that. That's not even debatable.
Far from it. And baseball down here is boring. I find the Marlins...
The Marlins are the most boring team in history.
Exactly.
And they finished only 2 games under 500. They come on like a house on fire, and nobody cares. Right. Nobody cares.
Right. I'm not a particular fan of National League Baseball. I'm an American League Club fan. But the bottom line is I have watched a lot of the games, and watching them on the dish and everything. And the wild card race in the last month has been very exciting. And I'll tell you what, a guy catches a ground ball, he doesn't do a dance like a guy that makes a tackle does.
Yeah.
All right? I'm getting a little tired of that crap, too, but it seems to be fashionable to say...
How about guys like Barry Bonds and Albert Bell? Do you think that they're a credit to the game?
No, they're not. But you know what? They're the exception. They're not the general rule, though. I mean, you don't have that many guys that sit there and self-grandize when they hit a home run.
Yeah.
It's the exception like those guys. But for the most part... you look around, you don't see guys doing that, and you don't see guys doing dances because they made a put-out or they got an assist on a ground ball or something like that. I mean, it's basically, like I said, it's fashionable to bash baseball, but there are a lot of problems in the other sports, too.
Amen.
All right?
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Neil.
Game's on right now.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, the game is on. The umpire showed up, and all this other was just a waste of time, although at least we found that what the word was, it was you little sucker was the word.
Did you say dick?
I didn't know you were leaving. Were you going to just surprise me? Did you know he was leaving? He must be, after that. No, I did not say dick. Oh, I think I'm looking at one. Now, who is that?
That's a big secret for the break.
What do you mean for the break?
Some fat friend of yours. For off the air.
Not Fat Rich.
Okay, it's not Fat Rich.
It is Fat Rich?
Yes.
What does he want?
He has a secret message.
Oh, Jesus God. Have you ever been tempted just to take all your possessions and your dogs, to just clean out your bank account, if your bank can get it right, and just take off, just haul ass, and start over brand new, get like new scenery, 113 at WIOD and
Radio 610 WIOD.
When I was little, I was a skinny little punk. They wouldn't let me play basketball. The gangs used to push me around. Even the hoes beat the crap out of me. But then I started drinking milk. And I kept on drinking. And I kept on drinking.
And I kept on drinking. And now I'm a 6'5", 285-pound angry mother. And I'm gonna put some serious hurt on everybody who ever dissed me. You with me, you go home in a body bag, 'cause I'm a natural-born, milk-drinking killer.
Milk. It does a body good.
So what the you think this is, anyway? So there was Fat Rich hawking a Chinik about hockey tickets and about sitting here and sitting there, and again, trying to do his best. But I told him, forget it, Rich. I'm getting in my car. I'm hopping in there with the dogs. I'm cleaning out all my accounts. I'm taking a whole suitcase full of cash. And I'm heading due east, I think, just anywhere at this point. We have 2 open lines in Dade County, 7519463. The Indians and the Orioles are playing in Camden Yards, baby. They're ready to rock and roll. They're going to do it. Any second, they're just getting ready to do it. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Okay, we're on hold there. Blow it out yours. Open line in Broward. Here's a lady in Lauderdale Lakes. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, Neil, hi. Talk to me about Italy. We're leaving on October 26th for 2 solid weeks, and we owe it all to you. You got us all excited about it.
Yeah, you sound very excited. You sound like you're on the verge of a coma.
No, I'm not in a coma. I never go in comas. Come on.
You do. You sound comatose.
Who, me?
Yes, you do.
Sound comatose?
You sound very depressed. I thought your dog peed on your leg or something.
No, I'm just thrilled to death.
Yeah.
The only thing is I made the mistake of buying one of those travel books, and they're talking about purse snatching and people going by on motorcycles in Rome. We're doing...
Oh, will you forget about that? Just ignore it.
I am. I just got a money belt. Now all I need is the money to put in it.
Right.
But we have to go through New York because...
That's where it's dangerous.
I know.
If you get out of New York, if you get out of New York alive, then you'll be okay once you get to Italy. But New York, I'm not so sure.
Well, we can't go anywhere because there's not enough time between flights.
Good.
I would rather have gone to Alitalia, frankly.
Yeah.
But
well, what are you flying on?
We're flying on TWA.
Why is that?
Because that's what's where the bargain, so-called bargain, is hooked up with the 2-week tour we're taking. Which
Oh, my God. You're taking a tour and you're flying TWA? Oh, my...
Oi!
Oh,
Oi,
what a
oi,
bad
oi.
idea that is.
I know. But the thing is that we have all 3-nighters in every place we stop, and it's a solid 2 weeks. Let me ask you something.
Oh.
Do I have to bring a lined overcoat for the end of October and the time in November?
You have to bring a lined overcoat?
Oh, the kind.
What do I know about lined overcoats? It's going to be chilly. It's going to be chilly. What do you think? It's going to be 75, 80 degrees at the end of October and in November?
How stupid do you think I am? Don't answer that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course you need to take a warm thing. Take a warm thing with you.
Well, of course I'll take a sweater and something, but I don't want to take too much bulky stuff. This is Italy, bravissimo.
It's going to be pretty chilly, sweetheart. It's going to be pretty chilly. Don't come back with pneumonia and blame me for it.
Well, I'm not going to be chilly.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Whatever you say.
Well, you know what, Neil? I have to deviate to something else.
Yeah, be a deviant.
When I was a freshman at Miami-Dade South,
yes,
I talked to you on WKAT, was it? I talked to you in the afternoon when I didn't have class and I got very behind on my research of my subject.
Yes.
So, you're such an influence. You really are.
Oh.
So,
the impact I have on this town, man, it's unbelievable.
Well, I believe
I come in here every day.
Kiddo.
When I walk out here at 2 o'clock, I shake my head and I say, this is unbelievable.
I believe in you,
How anybody
kiddo.
could be on here for 20 years and have so little ability to elicit a response. I mean, even a bad response. It's shocking.
What is all
Shocking.
This? Hey, what is all this negative thinking? Look at us. We're going to just Italy, and we're going when it's chilly.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, well, you stay here and I'll go. How's that?
Hey, wouldn't that be wonderful?
It sounds good to
Except
me.
we want to go, too.
Okay, sweetheart. Have a great time.
Thanks a lot,
And
Neil. Bye.
bundle up. Okay. What'd she say? We have an open line in Dade, 751 WIOD. We got a pair in Broward, 5249463. That looks like Pete Bolger in the other room there.
They
probably
brought us,
making,
food.
probably man, looks like Ronna Woulfe, Ratfink Wolf in the other room too. It's the Paxson people. Oh, thank God they've come to rescue us from this morass, from this abyss, from this sea of mung. And now as soon as I said that, they ran out the door. Or are they running in this door? What do you got there? Please don't tell me. I heard the food sucked at your lunch. Oh, no. That's what, I don't want to say JC said it, because we don't want to lose him. Oh, well, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's well, I can throw this out. Now I can eat that. It's not on the Atkins, though. Probably but that's okay anyway. That looks pretty decent. Where's it from, can we say, before we rip them?
Sarah's Catering.
Sarah's... Now, you mean not Sarah's Pizza place. That little, do you know Sarah's Pizza? No. Oh, just wait. And what's this I hear no food in the studio over there? Is that true or is that just a joke? It's just a joke, okay. You hear that, George? I said for everybody else no food, but for you, Mr. Hotshot. Okay. Yeah, I sure hope you've been busy and didn't hear the show today, by the way. So anyway, here's the Paxton crowd. They're here today. They're laughing, but I think they're only putting it on, okay? They said, we have heard the show, and guess what? You ever hear The Last Supper? Here you go, fatso. God. So what's the story? Did you come in the front door, or do you have like...
We walked right in. Said we owned it.
Yeah. You walked right in, just like they owned the joint. They said, by the way, the dollar is past due that you're leasing the building. The dollar is past due, and Bob Green kind of like slipped out the door. I'll be right back, just like he did Saturday night at the Billabong and didn't pay the bill. What a guy. Are we like, oh, no, we're not. Okay, here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Pretty good.
Hey, when did this Goldberg guy get this moniker, the Hammer? And who gave
the
it
Hummer?
to him?
The Hummer.
That sounds more like it. I got a true story on it.
The Humper.
During a point of confusion in my life, I was working at Don Shula's hotel.
Yeah.
And, they tape and shoot a lot of the things there, Cephalo does the sports cast there, and, some of the radio
Jimmy
celebrities.
Syphilis, yeah.
Yeah. So, they all come in. They're all decent guys, but the Hammer would come in.
The Hummer.
And the Hummer. And he would come in, and he'd grab our cart. That's how you gonna make a buck as a bellman without a cart. And
hey, stupid!
Wouldn't say a word. No, please, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Take the cart, go off. Everybody else would have a crew with him to set up. There he is. He's setting up his own little thing, and he does all the work himself. So
I've heard he has set up his own little thing a few times. That's
yeah. But I just
that was funny. Yeah.
One night it's really dead in there. And he's setting up his deals, and I'm kind of wandering around, and he's taking my cart, and I'm really kind of hanging out, trying to get it back as soon as I can, so I can go back to making some money.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, how you doing, Hank?" And he looked at me, and he said, "Hank," he said, "I think it's Mr. Goldberg to you, isn't it?"
Hey, stupid! Yeah.
And I thought, he
was serious?
He was absolutely serious. And I thought, what a sucker.
Oh my God!
He is so obnoxious.
He's a porker in his own mind, I'll tell you that.
But that's all I had to say. But
okay.
It's a true story, and you can repeat it.
Well, he's a class guy, I'll tell you that. Have a great day, pal.
Bye-bye.
Okay. We have Broward open, 5249463. The baseball game is underway. We're going to have bring Phil back one last time, do a little play-by-play. 125 at WIOD.
Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
Il n'est pas seulement Hank Goldberg, il est un hippopotame.
And now, the secret behind how Princess Di keeps her girlish figure.
Okay, 128 at WIOD. We love the Paxton people already. I told you. Ronna is great. Pete Bolger is great. Jim Bocock has got a great furniture store. Seriously, has he got anything to do with the furniture? Because that is kind of an interesting name. What did he say his name was? Jim Bo... something like that.
Did you say?
Oh, there you go again. By the way, they said you're right. George will be leaving. He doesn't know it yet. That dick. We have an open line at Dade, 751. Broward, this is really fascinating, okay? My good friends from Paxson come over here on the first day of the switchover, okay? And they walk into the studio, and they bring me because they had the big free lunch for everybody from over here, and, of course, we're on the air. So they bring me my own plate with pretty good stuff on here, too, by the way. Not all Atkins, but too bad. Pretty good stuff. And look at the Broward line. And I noticed they were looking at the phone. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at the Broward. They're like, making little comments. Like we're paying a guy this much money and he can't even get the people in Broward on the phone. Well, who the hell does he think he is, huh? But they happen to be pretty nice people, okay? The Paxson people, in spite of all of the warnings, in spite of the hysteria and the paranoia that some people try to generate around here. You know what I'm saying? Including those idiots at XS Magazine. Oh yeah, we don't like when you say, how do you like that? So don't say no more, okay? That's my comment to you, mister. Because they say, you say whatever the hell you want. We love you. We're ecstatic to have you. Unlike these suckers at Cox Broadcasting. Well, that sure just rolls off your tongue, don't it? Yeah, that's what Roberto Alomar heard from John Hirschbeck. He said, you little sucker from Cox Broadcasting. And Roberto said, hey, mister, you got me confused with somebody else. I don't work for Cox. And I got a great line for that, but boy, they like me too much. And they said, don't you even think about getting your car and leaving town, okay? We'll let you use the private Paxson jet. Speaking of out of this world, here's Jupiter. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you? The Ranger hater. I'm back down here again. Listen, Neil, what's the story with these papers?
What do you mean you're back down here again? What does that mean? From New York?
Yeah.
You're from New York?
But I'm a Ranger hater.
No, that's good.
Listen, the reason I'm calling, what's the story with the hockey coverage in the newspapers down here? I mean,
there isn't any.
I got to buy the New York Daily News and the New York Post and spend $3 a day to find out what's going on with hockey.
That's right.
Yesterday
How do you think I feel when I go up to Toronto on a weekend during the summertime and you get the Toronto Sun and they got pages and this is during the summertime when they're not even playing hockey. They got pages of hockey news. They got about 50 pages of sports section. That's a real town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You come here and it's just a horse and buggy place. It's make-believe. It's ersatz.
Neil, yesterday was the waiver draft. There wasn't one mention in the paper who got claimed, who got taken.
Yes, it is in the Sun Sentinel. I got it right in my hand now. Maybe not.
Okay.
Huh? Maybe it's not in the Herald.
Well, it's not in the Palm Beach Post, either.
Oh, the Palm Beach. Well, that's a Cox paper. What do you want?
Oh, is that what the problem
Craig
is?
Billington got taken by Colorado, and then he got by the Avalanche.
Did the Momesso get taken off the Rangers?
No, he did not.
He did not, huh?
In fact, he played last night.
Did he? Well, let me ask you.
And by the way, don't get too depressed because the Rangers beat Pittsburgh 7-1 last night. And Pittsburgh didn't play anybody. Mario didn't play. Yager didn't play. Nedved is still holding out with Smolinski, so they didn't play. Ron Francis didn't play. They played all the minor leaguers last night, and so it was no game. And the Rangers played everybody but Gretzky.
Did you get your schedule yet from the little dish, the 18-inch dish for the hockey package?
No, not yet.
Me either. I mean, well, another thing is, why the hell don't they televise the preseason games?
They were on.
On the
Penguins,
PSS?
Huh?
On the small dish?
Sure.
No, they weren't. I didn't get them.
Do you have KBL?
No. What's KBL?
From Pittsburgh, 3:15.
Yeah, it wasn't on last night.
It sure was. I watched the game last night. Mike Lang, KBL.
But wait a minute. Do you take that?
Do you have MSG?
Yeah, but I didn't take that other package. You have to take that package of the sports networks.
Right.
You have to take that to get it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. So in other words, you have the hockey package.
Right.
No, they're not. That won't be till Saturday, till the regular season starts this weekend.
If you subscribe to that $10 a month bit with all them other channels, you'll get all the preseason games.
Sure. All the ones that they
man.
televised. The Bruins televised a lot of them on NESN. The Rangers had a couple. The Penguins had one last night. But you know something. Right. You don't want to see exhibition hockey games. They suck.
Yeah, but at least they tell you what's going on around the league, Neil. This is horrible.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Like I'm in a cave.
That's true. They had, especially on MSG, they had a lot of good stuff in between periods. The Penguins between periods last night were busy peddling. They had a ticket-thon. They were selling season tickets in between periods.
Oh, really?
So they didn't tell you much of anything. But the Rangers did a good job.
Well, I'll tell you, I got the guy's name. I just called up the Palm Beach Post for the sports editor. I'm going to call him up and tell him I'll work for nothing down here.
Chew him an ass, man.
I will. All right, Neil, you take care.
Okay, welcome back.
All right,
okay.
bye-bye.
We have an open line at Dade, 751. So I would imagine some of our hockey fans are coming back now. It's getting close to the fall, October, November, December, and then they'll be here till April, and they'll get the hell out of here. Man, they'll get out of here like stuff through a mitten. Here's Miami on the purple line. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I almost blew my brains out with that lady calling about Italy.
Oh, she was coma-inducing. Coma-inducing. Should I wear a coat with a lining?
Jeez.
How about wearing one with a silver lining?
Let me tell you, talking about ponderous, a little Rick and Sud spy report yesterday.
Yes.
Weak. I mean, I like them, but
and I wet my pants.
Yeah.
You should have heard these two 13-year-old girls called.
Oh, now they're 13. They were 14 a little while ago. Now they're 13.
However old they were, and Rick sounded like a teenage boy. He didn't know what to
apologize. We'll never do it again.
He didn't want to get off the line. He was like trying to flirt with him, but not because he's too old. I don't know. But really, it was the most embarrassing radio I've heard. I listen to talk radio.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
I heard Adam was telling me it was great. Adam said it was sensational.
Oh, the 14-year-old thing? You got to be kidding me.
He said
you
that
really have to be
Adam
kidding.
said he was getting twitches in his rectum while they were on the phone. He said he was just losing it.
Maybe for him because he was there, but for the listening audience, forget.
Well, I'll be sure and pass that along. And have a great day. Okay, the purple line is open. Pound IOD. We have an open line in Dade, 75194. If we can just survive another 3 days in this building, because from what I'm hearing about that new studio, it is so spectacular that even if nobody ever calls, it won't make any difference because we'll have so many buttons to push and so much crap everywhere, it won't make any difference. Then you guys will be real sorry, man, that you let me down when I needed you badly after 20 years of bleeding my kishkis out for you bastards out there. 20 years of showing up here every day except my 30 or 40 weeks of vacation every year. And what do you get in return? You get spurned. You get rejected. You get a big come on yesterday. Oh, brother, you would have thought that I was the greatest thing since Halava yesterday. Man, they made a comeback here, and with the women, and we love Ron and Ron, and we stayed there listening to you, and we love exactly. And then I come in here today, and it's like, well, I roll about 422 different possibilities that we can chew and spit out and whatever here. And it's the same routine. I don't think anybody listens to this show because they want to hear a conversation. They want to hear me plead and beg. That's what they want. There are a bunch of sadists out there. We enjoy hearing him suffer like a miserable, like somebody in a concentration camp. And then once in a while, somebody that's got a little bit of sympathy, a little bit of empathy, brings in a plate full of food. Thank you, Ronna and Pete and Jim. It would be a cold day in hell when the Cox people would have brought us food. I've been spending the last 8 years feeding those people. How do you like that? The only thing the Cox people ever fed us was a line of bull. Exactly. Here's Orlando. Hello. Orlando, allegedly.
Neil, how are you?
Yes, sir.
Nice to talk to you.
Well, exactly.
I want to ask you one thing and tell you thank you for turning me on to Donatello's a couple years ago.
What a great place.
It really is.
I sure hope it's still open.
You go to the bar at Malio's and run over to Donatello's. But let me ask you something. Where did that Harry Carey bit come from, F.U. Neil?
F.U.? What the hell is that?
I don't know. You play it all the time. I've never known.
Never heard of it.
Hey, Neil, f*** you.
Yeah.
What's that from?
It's a guy in Chicago who does a great Harry Carey voice, and he dropped all this stuff in here.
Hey, enough with the Panthers already. When the hell does the baseball season begin anyway, huh? The Marlins win. Marlins win. Marlins. Oh, give me another beer.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
It's outstanding.
He does Harry better than Harry does.
You guys complain about the radio down there. You ought to be up here in Orlando.
No, I should not.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but Orlando is like, a nickel and dime place other than Disney.
It's Hillbillyville, man.
Yeah.
And I'm moving back in November, moving the whole business back, and I can't wait to hear you guys. And Ron is the only savior up here, to be honest with you.
Really?
You've been through Stern. He gets old after about 20 minutes when he gets done talking about himself. You know?
Yeah.
You'll get used to Ron. At least
listen to. Listen, I have no problem with Ron. And believe me, this audience knows me well enough. If I had a problem, they would hear about it. Just like when Alex Bennett was here, like when Dickie Farkle was here. I'm not the kind of person that sits and holds back if somebody creates a problem. I don't have any problem with Ron. I hope they do a 30 share.
And Neil, you and Benny would probably become good friends because you both like the same things.
And somebody just hit a tremendous home run for the Orioles. It's not Brady Anderson again.
White guy. I can't
Brady Anderson, who had 50 during the regular season, who all of a sudden got that rabbit ball, just hit a home run for the Orioles. How do you like that?
I say oi, and it was nice talking to you.
Oi! Have a great day.
Bye-bye, man.
Okay. Brady Anderson, God! Oh! Go Orioles, baby! Go Birds! Why am I so excited about it? Because, I don't know, Albert Bell and the Indians, there's just something about that Albert Bell, you know? Just something about that dick. Hey, listen, you said it. In fact, Pete and Jim and Ronna there, they said, you can say whatever the hell you want. And I said, well, does that include maybe if I said, and they said, well, not that. And I said, how about, no, not that. And what about, well, we'll think about that one. And I said, how about you? And they said, okay. They're friendly, accommodating people, which we are not used to. When they came out of their way, they came all the way over here to this mausoleum of a building, which at the moment is like a death knell, this building. And just wait till we get out of here. 3 more trips. 3 more trips. 3 more trips. That's right. 3 more trips to this toilet, to this rat-infested place right next door to Channel 7, where they're all floating around like a bunch of bumblebees in heat. Oh, God, are they going to miss us here? This place will be so dead next Monday, man. They could actually turn it into a division of Lithgow Funeral Home. Man, isn't it an omen that they have that tombstone sitting out in front of the building, huh? Well, we buried W. Snooze, and they put the tombstone right on the front lawn. Isn't that an omen, huh? If you ask me, it's a f***ing omen. They said, oh, you can say that. Okay, well... Now, what is this? Cary, North Carolina. What kind of a place is that?
Neil, guys.
Yes, sir?
How you doing?
I'm carrying it.
Long time no hear.
And what are you doing up there? And where the hell is that?
It's about 5 miles from Raleigh.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Yeah, I used to live in Kendall. I'd call you once in a while. I told you I was getting the hell out of Miami.
And
I did 3 months ago.
And how is it?
And it's beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, it's a different world. It's a lot less stress.
Yeah, stress. You hit it right on the head, man. This place has stressed me out. These people are killing me. You're right.
I mean, I have not, honestly, I have not been cut off once since I've been here. I've been here 3 months.
Yeah.
And
I was cut off once. George says he's never been cut off yet either, but he don't drive that much.
The only thing I miss about Miami is the skyline. They got a nice skyline.
Oh, Roberto Alomar's our first base. I think you just got a hit.
In the ocean there, but other than that, Miami's a dump.
Yeah, it is. It's a Bush League place, too, man.
I was just there
Any
this
place
past
that's got
weekend.
Hank Goldberg.
I was just there this past weekend, unfortunately, for a funeral.
Yeah.
And, a cousin of mine died of a massive heart attack at age 38.
Was he fat?
He was not fat. He didn't have an ounce of fat on him. He was in great shape, one of those roller hockey players.
Yeah.
And he played in a little league in Miami Springs, and they took a little break, and then they stood back up, and he just collapsed right there, died.
Jeez.
Right on the spot.
Dead?
Yes.
Dead.
And
I'm sorry to hear
out
that.
there that in their 30s, man, you know, get a
Yeah, once you
checkup,
get old, man, you get up there in their 30s. If you get old like me, 53, then you realize you're living on borrowed time, you know?
It used to be 40s, now it's 30s.
Right.
But, hey, we miss you, Neil. There's nothing like you down up here. Not at all.
Well, you just wait. One of these days when you least expect it. I'm just going to pack up and go right to Raleigh. I'd be big up there, man.
I tell you what,
as
though,
long as
Neil,
they couldn't find me, yeah.
People, if they want to come up here, it is nice, but it's not really that barren unless they want to go way out into the country with people with no teeth and stuff.
Right. Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean? But around this area, you know, Raleigh and what have you, it's pretty busy. It really is.
We're coming up the Cohulawasi River to visit you guys.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Before I go, can I listen to you the rest of the show? Put me on hold?
Sure. Hang on.
And
Hang on.
Can I make a request?
Yeah.
Uranus.
I beg your pardon? Hang on, pal.
Thank you.
There's a guy in North Carolina that wants my
rectum.
How do you like that? That's not in here either, is it?
Yes, it is.
It is not.
Under Ben.
Huh?
Under Ben.
No, that's not what he wants.
What are you
wants. Oh, I didn't know whose he wanted. He wants Ben Dover's Uranus? Well, why did he say so?
If your car's life is over, go see Ben Dover. You'll realize what you had was heinous when you hop in and ride Uranus.
Oh, yeah. You've enjoyed driving Mercury. You loved your Saturn. Now come and dig Uranus. Love that new car smell? Nothing smells like Uranus. Dependability? No one has ever got stuck in Uranus.
Take the plunge now, be courageous. Bend over and ride Uranus.
And if you like a car that holds the road, you couldn't wipe out Uranus if you tried. Uranus. Powerful, yet great with gas. Need trunk space? Rest assured you can pack anything in Uranus. And if Uranus is rear-ended, our well-lubricated joints will soften the blow. Come to our showroom and pick out Uranus. And leave that messy paperwork to us. Check out Uranus.
Take the dive like Greg Louganis. Bend over and ride Uranus.
144 at WIOD. I hope that Roberto Alomar Jr. hits 450 in the playoffs. I hope the Orioles win the stinking World Series, just to piss off a lot of you people out there that are so self-righteous, okay? Because he spat in somebody's face just because the guy got all carried away and called him a little sucker. How do you like that? And the Orioles already are ahead 1-0 in the first inning, and they got Bobby Bonilla up there, as in Maha Bonilla. And they got Alomar must have got a hit. He's on first base unless he stole first base or walked or something like that. He's standing there, I think. Was he standing there? Yeah, he's on there. Come on, Bobby, kiss one out of there, just like the old days with the Mets, okay? Just like the old days with the Pirates when they booed you out of town. Come on, Bobby. Anyway, it's 145 at WIOD. All you people out there who just spoil sports, there ain't nothing like baseball, man. Pretty boring.
The minute you walked in the court, the judge could see you were a man of addiction, a real big loser. You did Chaplin and soap dish. You're going to jail unless your genie's got one more wish. You think you like life in the joint. You don't know what those guys do when they get bored. Robert Downey. Since I'm a Betty Ford. Better get used to an orange jumpsuit. It'll fit tight, you'll look cute, cute. They can show you a good time. There's no Tanqueray and lime. The minute they lock you up, you'll be labeled some big guy's girlfriend, a real good looker. So pretty, skin so white. You better beware of things that go unzip in the night. You're gonna make friends really quick. In the shower, there's no way you'll be ignored. Robert Downey.
149 at WID. You know, it's funny because Pete Bolger was in here before with the Paxton people. He said, I want to tell you something you may have forgotten since the Zeta days. And I said, what's that?
Johnny Dark's an asshole.
I said, I didn't forget. But he looks a lot better to us now that Johnny Dolan's around. We like Johnny Dark a lot better because as long as Johnny Dolan's around, everybody else on the coast is mighty popular. That Johnny Dolan, man, every day. That's one thing I'm going to miss about coming to work at WIOD is every morning when I come in that door, and there's Johnny Dolan bouncing out with that big smile on his face and all those nuts in his cheeks. God, is he a happy guy, huh? So when's he getting bounced out? Here's North Miami. Hello.
Hey, Pally.
Yes, sir.
Is this great or what? Baseball in the afternoon? I love it.
Yeah.
I see. I was wondering who you're rooting for. You're definitely going for.
I'm
Orioles.
pulling for the Birds, baby.
Yeah,
The
me
Indians.
too.
I don't like the Indians. There's something about that Albert Bell.
That's another.
I don't
reason.
mind the Indians, but Albert Bell is such. I mean, a great player. Make no mistake about it. But a major league asshole, man.
Right.
Major league asshole.
Absolutely.
If you look up the word asshole in the dictionary, you'll see Albert Bell's picture right next to Bob Green's.
Hey, I was looking through the paper today. You see, I was seeing where Joe Carollo, $186,000. The bill was that thing he
What,
had
for
with,
dinner?
No, with the legal matter with Wayne Huizenga.
Yeah.
Oh,
isn't that great? Another $186,000 down the tubes for going to court in a losing battle for trying to kick the Panthers out. Nice going, Joe Carollo.
Unbelievable.
There's all the more reason people should vote for Alex Pinellas today so they don't vote for another shill like Joe Carollo in Art Teal.
You know, I can't understand this. Why isn't there this game on radio in town?
It's
anywhere?
not?
No.
Are you serial?
There's not. I mean, I looked in the sun. No,
I thought QAM was your sports station, and then they're carrying their playoffs. What a bunch of jokers they are.
They
probably don't want to preempt a humper, you know?
Oh, please. I got one thing to say about fat Hank Goldberg. F off, Hank. He's the worst.
Yeah.
You know, I can't understand how these people can continue listening to this guy. He's so rude.
I can't believe this Ramirez kid just hit one down the line for the Indians and tied up the game right inside the line, right inside the foul pole, and in one swing ties. And look at Davy Johnson's puss, man.
His
right cheek just fell off.
Who's the kid for the Dolphins? Erickson and Davy Johnson.
Right.
Maybe they're
at least Davy waited about 40 years before his set in, you know?
Right. But there's no one in town for putting the damn ball game on. Paxton was WINZ, right?
Yeah.
So I can't believe they didn't pick it up.
Nobody has got the playoff game on?
I swear, because I got to leave in about a half hour.
Oh, my God. I got to leave in like 10 minutes, and I'm going to have to drive home about 100 miles an hour.
Right.
I'm flooring that vet, baby.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, Pally.
Enjoy it.
Bye-bye.
See ya. So it's all tied up with one swing of the bat. The powerful and always dangerous Indians, man, tied up as it's a battle of home runs. Everybody is just on the edge of their seat. That big, fat David Wells is out there on the mound, that big, chubby David Wells, who's not as bad as you might think. He's okay. Pretty damn good, if you ask me. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't really say pretty good. Here's Pompano. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Would Mr. Paxton mind very much if I said Neil, damn it?
No. Or you could say,
Neil, God!
And then just don't say anything.
Or
damn
just
it.
get down and pay homage to
That's
Thurman
it. That might be a
Miller
good
with the
idea.
purple helmet.
Yeah.
Listen, did you like McEnroe when he played tennis?
Hated him.
Well, it seems
Hated him.
It seems.
Hate. Ask me if I like Jimmy Connors.
Did you like Jimmy Connors?
Hated him.
I thought he was a spoiled brat, but
hated him.
It just seems like in sports that he who raises the most heck, gets the attention. And McEnroe.
Well, isn't that interesting how we have in our society a reflection that these kids today, they look up, they admire all these assholes with this disgusting hot dog behavior of theirs, like Neon Dion last night with that schmata on his head with the Cowboys, who makes me sick to my stomach. This is the kind of role model that American youth has today, and we're paying a wicked price for it, man.
Yes, I think
you
that's
know what I'm
pretty
saying?
sickening.
We're paying a wicked price for it.
It's society in general. It didn't just start in sports. You ever try to return something at a store, and they're not going to give it to you because that's the way they're programmed, but as soon as you raise enough heck, then you're accommodated?
Yeah, like Fat Rich calls before and says, well, I'm sure if you want to return your tickets and get a refund, I can get you tickets another seat. I says, you think they're giving me my money back for those tickets? You must be dreaming, Fat